Now at 9, an Arizona man is facing federal charges for his role in the insurrection. This comes after a months-long investigation.
Well, he turned himself in after he was caught on several different cameras. Our Brianna Whitney is live tonight after learning more about who he is and what goes into an investigation like this. Brianna?
Well, the sheer number of people who stormed the Capitol back in January makes this a tough investigation. But what's not lacking in this is evidence. There are so many pictures and so much video to go through from that day, which may be why this man was just put in handcuffs this week. The warlike scene was viewed around the world in January as insurrectionists breached all security and stormed the U.S. Capitol. Now, another Arizona man identified and arrested for his involvement, Makejah Jackson.
I have no doubt that this is one of the most important investigations ongoing in the FBI at this time.
James Eggleston is a retired FBI special agent and supervised the domestic terrorism unit at the FBI in Phoenix. He says what takes the longest in an investigation like this is the hours of surveillance footage to go through. According to the FBI, videos were posted to Instagram of the insurrection, and they identified Jackson as the person who took them. Authorities were able to piece together other photos and videos of Jackson wearing identifiable plaid with yellow gloves in a hotel room and marching to the Capitol alongside members of the Proud Boys chapter from Arizona. Eggleston says with so many people wearing masks that day, the hotel room was probably key footage.
But if you could trace that individual's movements through their clothing back to another location, you might get a better picture of them without a mask. You might be able to identify their vehicle. You might be able to identify individuals who associated together.
The FBI says on March 24th, agents went to Jackson's home and interviewed him, where he admitted to storming the Capitol and posting about it on social media. But he wasn't arrested then. He turned himself in just this week. Eggleston says that's not necessarily uncommon.
There could be several reasons for that. One being that the U.S. Attorney's Office might have been looking for additional corroboration, in addition to his own statement. Another being that he may be providing information and maybe working out a deal with the government.
We tried door knocking the address listed for Jackson, but a man who answered said Jackson moved and they didn't know anything about his involvement.
You're asking about Makejah.
Jackson is facing several charges, including trespassing and disorderly conduct. He's also the second high-profile Arizona arrest from the insurrection. This coming after Jacob Chansley was arrested for his involvement, too. You may know him as the QAnon shaman who would wear horns to riots most of the time here in Arizona. Heather, back to you.
Well, Brianna, I know you were trying to look through Jackson's social media. Were you able to learn anything more about him?
So I couldn't find any public Instagram for him, but it does appear that his Twitter account was suspended. So I asked the retired FBI agent about that. What do they do in that case? He said often they'll use another website to access those tweets before it was suspended, or in some cases they'll just subpoena Twitter to actually get access to those tweets for their investigation.
A lot of that stuff still lives online somewhere. Brianna, thank you very much.